Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and take pass last from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime.
Wasted world of sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
West to World of Sports, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Thursday night footy back again. Knights versus the Dolphins. Hang on. Knights versus the Dolphins. There we go. Logo's up and running. Nice to have you all along here. Oh, and I better go live on TikTok as well. The TikTokers will be wondering where we are. Welcome along, everybody. Thursday night footy. And the Finefeuiaki boys are about to duke it out. This I want to see. The Finefeuiaki twins, head-to-head. Opposing forces. Bring it on. I mean, can you imagine how much that battle took place in the backyard growing up? The Finefeuiaki boys, head-to-head. And now we get to see it play out here on an NRL field. I can't wait for it. Jacob versus Daniel. One-on-one. Natalie Green, ahoy there. Robert M, ahoy, mate. XJC, ahoy. And JJ. Oh, JJ, let's hope for a multi tonight. Multis have been going extremely well in the rugby union. Average in the rugby league. We nailed that one Super League on Vegas weekend. But outside of that, it's been slim pickings in the NRL. Lachlan Smith, ahoy there, mate, over on TikTok. Speaking of multis, I may as well put my multi up on the screen nice and early. If you've seen my preview video on YouTube, you'll know that I have a lot of suspicions over the Dolphins' right edge defense, and I also equally love the Newcastle Knights' left edge attack. So I have loaded up there on that Newcastle left edge. And of course, I stated my reasons for putting Jermaine Osako and the Hammer in there. Even though they were both a bit quiet last week, I'm expecting both teams to improve. I mean, you've got to expect that, right? Both teams will be looking to improve. I'm anticipating that they will. And the Hammer has scored in his previous 2 games here at McDonald Jones Stadium. And Jermaine Osako has scored 3 out of the last 4 matches against the Knights. So it was well worth including them. I've also thrown Jake Averillo in there, just as a little bit of extra cover. Robert M says, Dan, if you were Madge, when Mam comes back, would you make him earn his place the way Hunt's been playing? Well, first of all, let's just remember it's been one game. But based on that one game, Ezra Mam, there's not a spot for him. I think it was more the way that Corey Pakes played. If anything else, I mean, the obvious solution, let's just say Ezra Mam didn't almost kill somebody. He comes back. Ezra Mam will go to 6. Ben Hunt would go to 9. I'm assuming that that's what the idea would be. Corey Pakes surely just said, hey, excuse me, just a second. I've got a thing or two to say about this. Because he was outstanding in that game. Close to player of the match for mine, if not for Payne in the Haas. Payne in the Haas was an easy pick for mine for man of the match. We're talking about the Broncos-Roosters game, by the way. If anybody wonders what I'm banging on about. The Broncos-Roosters game last Thursday night. Payne Haas for mine was easily the man of the match, but a very close second was Corey Pakes. And I dare say there's no place for Ezra Mam in this team. Ahoy there, mate. Over on Twitch. Sorry, hang on. Let me see the name. West Karu over there on Twitch. Good evening. Watching from Southside Port Moresby, PNG. Your tip is the Dolphins to win by 10. Emmett Lusby says best Farnworth, Asako, and Marju on your multi. Reef says Dolphins plus 12.5. Asako 4 points and no golden points. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I also like yours there, Emmett. Bradman Best. Herbie Farnworth, Jermaine Asako, and Greg Marju. Taking the Knights in this one, yes, my actual match prediction. I've talked about my try scorers. My actual match prediction, the Newcastle Knights at home. A very small sample size, but they do seem to have it over the Dolphins. 3-1 head-to-head. Yes, 4 matches. Very small sample size. But there's a reason that the Knights have got those 3 victories. And that was a Wayne Bennett coached Dolphins team as well, let's not forget. This is not a Wayne Bennett coached Dolphins side, and I think we saw that. I think we saw that last week. But that being said, it's going to be a close one. There's been no blowouts, I don't believe, in the 4 games that they've played. Don't believe there's been a blowout. They've all been relatively close. And I'm expecting another close one here tonight. Dan Wilton, ahoy, mate. Channel member, Dan Wilton. Back on the good stuff tonight, Dan. As some of you may not be aware, I just went through Tropical Cyclone Alfred. And I think after a few days without power and getting everything back up and running, I think I deserve a nice stiff drink. I think I've earned it. Oh boy, the sense of entitlement, right? There were so many people who did it a lot worse than I did. There are some people, some friends of mine actually, still who don't have their power back on, by the way. It was certainly a tough time for a lot of people here in southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales who were the worst affected. Robert M., you got power back on Tuesday. Very nice. Yeah, it's so eye-opening. It's just such a... You don't realize how dependent you are on technology until you are forced into a situation where you have to go without it. So in that respect, it might not be necessarily a bad thing. We have too much reliance on technology as it is. Ads, ahoy there, mate. Mam and Milford halves pairing for South Logan Magpies, potentially. I reckon that's the way to go. E.B. Williams, ahoy there, mate. E.B. Williams says, what do I think of Plath at second row? In your opinion, Gilbert should have just slotted back in, considering how good he was at lock last year. Look, I'm a big fan of Maxi Plath. I really am. But yeah, Tom Gilbert. Tom Gilbert's a special player. The captain. Robert M says, remember to like the stream. Cheers, Robert. Something that I should be doing a lot more of myself as well is asking for, but I don't like asking for it. I feel it's a bit, I mean, people do it. All content creators do it. It just feels weird saying like and subscribe and all of that. JJ asks, who do I think 7s and 9s will perform better? Yeah, that's an interesting question, JJ. But for those who have seen my preview video that I put up on YouTube, I don't know necessarily that that's where the game will be won and lost. I think the improvement for both teams has to come out wider. The Dolphins will obviously be a lot better with Kodi Nikorima back. I mean, that is their halves pairing, Nikorima and Katoa. That's the way that it was meant to be. Sean O'Sullivan proved himself to be a very solid player at the Panthers in the absence of Nathan Cleary. But he's a 7. And they asked him to come in and play 6. Now, you might not think there's that much of a difference between the two roles, but Sean O'Sullivan, a very Nathan Cleary mold player. Now, I think that being said, I think Nathan Cleary could play 6 easily if he was asked to. Nathan Cleary could probably play just about anywhere if they asked him to. But it'll be interesting to see where the Dolphins probably have more improvement in them in the halves. Isaiah Katoa, he might just go a little bit better this week with his little buddy Kodi Nikorima playing inside. Robert M says, for the 8, I've got the Broncos making the 8 if Reno doesn't get injured. Well, I guess the beauty for the Broncos this season, right, is even if Reynolds does get injured, they've got Ben Hunt there to just fill the void. So me personally, I've got the Broncos making the 8, even if Reynolds does get injured. I make that prediction based on the fact that I'm expecting that Reynolds will get injured. Adam Reynolds and an injury is just a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, isn't it? In fairness, I don't wish it upon the guy, but let's be honest, it's going to happen. Likely. It will very, very likely happen at some point throughout the course of the year. And I suspect that they make the 8 regardless. I mean, there's enough talent there. The Broncos, they just need somebody. I don't think Madge is a long-term solution. I'll be perfectly honest about that. Madge might take him to the finals for first season. Yeah, just a feeling. Just a feeling. Jess Steph, 25, ahoy there over on Twitch. Watching from Morobe province. PNG, go Dolphins. 1-12. I know that the PNG supporters, they love the Dolphins. The PNG supporters love the Tigers. Gamer Mel, ahoy there. Sorry, I missed you before. That is unacceptable on my behalf. That a channel member, of all people, has to yell at me twice. Oh, Christ, is the game about to start? I'm on the wrong channel. Whoops. Think? Hang on. What's going on here? Channel 9. Sort yourself out. Straight Usos 685 says Ben Hunt is enough to keep the Broncos in if Adam Reynolds is out. Exactly. Exactly right. All right. What the hell's going on here? Robert M says, do you hand the reins over to Bennett if Madge leaves? Since Bennett is in the coach's box, I don't think Wayne Bennett comes back at any point to the Broncos. Not now. Oh, goodness me. What's going on here? My Channel 9's playing up. Okay. NRL, Thursday night footy. Oh, Trent Barrett, not Bennett. Sorry, I thought that said Wayne Bennett. Oh, God. Okay, do you hand the reins over to Trent Barrett? Jeez. Do you think Trent Barrett is head coach worthy? I mean, he's been tried and failed a couple of times, hasn't he? Is that a path, as a Broncos supporter, is that a path you wish to walk down? As a Bulldog supporter, no. See, head coaching is completely different, isn't it? Trent Barrett has proven himself time and time and time again that he's a fantastic assistant coach. Can't necessarily make the step up to head coach, and that's not a slight on him. That's not a slight on him at all. Some people can't. All right, Channel 9's up and running. The teams are coming out onto the field. The Knights versus the Dolphins. We're all locked in. Interesting, the Dolphins are wearing their black strip. The Knights in their typical home blue and red. From a long shot, the wide camera shot, on my TV anyway, a little too similar for my liking, the jerseys. Natalie Green says, let's go Newcastle Knights. Wendy, Barney, ahoy there. Welcome along, just in time for kickoff. And it is the Knights who are lined up, ready to kick off. The Dolphins will be receiving and running from left to right. We're off and running Thursday night footy, McDonald Jones Stadium. And the Dolphins with the first hit up, and it's Saifiti versus Saifiti. Let's not forget that. Daniel Saifiti versus Jacob Saifiti. And that's what we want to see. The first hit up. The first hit up was Saifiti charging into Saifiti. And a high tackle early, a penalty to the Dolphins. Oh, that was brilliant. That was from the kickoff, the first hit up, brother versus brother. Not a lot of distance on that touch finder, and it's Maxi Plath. Takes it up outside the 40 meters line. Their own side of halfway here, the Dolphins. Kafusi with his fresh haircut. It had to happen. It needed to happen. Honestly, Kafusi needed to cut that thing off. In tonight's territory for the first time. Katoa changes direction back inside to Kafusi. They're 30 meters out now in midfield, the Dolphins. And that's a poor play, the ball, Kafusi. He's rolled the ball, hasn't touched the foot. Kafusi gets it all wrong, and they are cracking down on that this year. And that is an early let-off there for the Knights. Handy position for them to start this set. I don't understand it. I really don't. It seems like such a basic thing. You stand up, place the footy, put your foot on it, and roll it back, right? But for whatever reason, they just can't seem to get it right. And the Knights on play 3 now, on the halfway line. Down this left-hand edge they go, but stepping back in field. Let's keep an eye Yep, there we go. Down this right-hand edge. On Herbie Farnworth, who is just patiently waiting there. Surely expecting some traffic to go down his way. Fifth and last, Jack Cogger puts the ball high and contestable. Knights rolling through, but the hammer is under the high ball, leaps in the air and takes it well. Richard Trainer, ahoy, mate. Who's got too much money? Kafusi. 40 metres out from their own line. Here's Herbie getting involved. Tackle for. The Breeze is in behind the Dolphins, angled across the field at the moment. The hammer shovels it along. Avarillo heads back into midfield. And that is the fifth and last. 45 metres out from the try line. Katoa puts it high. Should be an easy take at the back for Marju. They were chasing down on him hard, but Marju bumps away and brings it back 20 metres out. The Knights back in possession. A nice even start. What we've got so far. James Schiller taking the hit up. 30 out their own side of halfway. They've come up with the error. And the Dolphins with a 0 tackle. So both teams have made early mistakes. Not the kind of bounce back that either coach would be looking for, I'm sure. And this is a great opportunity now for the Dolphins to strike first. 25 metres out. In midfield, Katoa shows it inside, goes out to Nikorima. Avarillo calls the player back on the inside. Tupou. And he's taken down inside the 20. Well, they're inside the 10 now, actually. They're even further upfield than I realised. Taifidi, the cutout pass to nobody. And it's intercepted by Fletcher Sharp. And here's trouble. Sharp in open space, brought down by the hammer. Try-saving tackle. And now they go quickly. Gagai from dummy half. Up over halfway. This has been really poor for both sides. Easy turnovers. Crossland goes to Taifidi. Brought down by his brother 30 metres out. They go right for Cogger. Fifth and last, 20 metres out in midfield. Crossland, they go left. There's Frizzell who puts the grubber kick through. And it's going to sit up in the end goal. It's... Oh, the Dolphins have tried to tap it dead. Jermaine Osako has tried to knock it dead. You feel like he's missed it, and Frizzell has nearly pinched this. I mean, I'm still trying to get over the fact that Frizzell put a little grubber kick through into the end goal, and it was perfectly weighted. And miscommunication at the back there from the Dolphins. The hammer and Jermaine Osako both end up going for the ball. Nobody called it. And it's knocked backwards there by Osako. And then it's knocked on just by Frizzell. This has gone up as no try. He's got his finger on it. Knocked on by Tyson Frizzell. But the Dolphins have dodged a humongous bullet there. And again, it's that miscommunication in defense. Both players attacked the ball. Nobody apparently called for it. The hammer tried to pick it up. Or pluck it out of the air. And Jermaine Osako slaps it out of his hands. And he's nearly slapped it straight to Frizzell. Gina Ferracini, ahoy. Oh, well, that was a crazy little sequence of play. That could easily have brought us our first try. Well, that is what I was talking about in the preview video that I did as the Dolphins attack the left. Avarillo tries to step back inside. Gagai can't get through. Nikorima heads across field. Links up with Katoa. Inside ball for Herbie Farnworth. Bumps off one. Dylan Lucas comes back at him, though. Rock my balls. Ahoy, mate. Fifth and last for the Dolphins. 30 out from the line. Short side for Katoa. Puts it in the air. Marju runs forward. Takes it well. But 15 metres or so out from their own try line. And a penalty is given to the Knights. That's a reliever. Can I say hi to your friend Rennie? Ahoy, Rennie. Seven minutes gone, no score here. I forgot to get one of my bets on. Might be a good thing, actually, that I missed out. It was paying $7.50 for both teams to score 2 or more tries each half. Notice this, ahoy, mates. The Knights, off the back of that penalty, here they come approaching, and now beyond the halfway line, Frizzell. With a good, solid burst. Ponga in at first receiver. The short pass to Lucas. Does well to hold on. It was a hospital ball. Crossland takes a couple of steps. Links up now with Thompson. And Thompson dragging defenders with him. Just outside the 20. 2 tackles left. Here's Cogger. Takes it to the line. Out the back to Ponga. Gagai just sends it on to Schiller. Schiller with the grubber kick through. Taken by the hammer in the end goal. Dives back into the field of play. He's right on the touchline, about half a metre out from his own goal. The Knights are looking most likely here, it must be said, early in the contest. But some alarming mistakes by both teams at the start of this match. Osako with a good carry. He's in my fantasy team, so that's good. I hope he goes all right. Fifth and last, they've only made it up to the 40. Katoa sends it long. Pongo traps it with the boot, and it sits up nicely for him. 20 metres out from his own line, links up with Marju. Marju swivels away from one. Osako comes back at him, and he gets the offload for Sharp. Fletcher Sharp in open space, cuts right through Kafusi. And he is dragged to ground. Desperate diving attempt by Sayafidi. Oh, Fletcher Sharp. He is cutting them to ribbons here. Gagai can't get on the outside of Avarillo. Pops the ball back in field. And Cogger will take tackle 2. The Knights back on the attack. 35 out. The Dolphins looking still a little bit rudderless here. Much like last week. Ponga again in at first receiver. Out the back to Sharp. Here's Bradman Best. Steps back in field. Beats Herbie Farnworth. And he's brought to ground 5 out from the try line. 2 tackles left up their sleeve. Crossland to Ponga in midfield. Runs across. Links up with Cogger. And now the basketball pass from Pierce Paul over the top to James Schiller for the first try. Matty Colkin, ahoy! James Schiller with the opening try of the night. And the Knights, they were looking the most likely. And they created themselves a 4-on-2. Simple try in the corner. They let Kalyn Ponga run. And you can't do that. Kalyn Ponga gets a sniff of an opportunity and he takes it. Fletcher Sharp looking very, very dangerous. Captain Redbeard, ahoy, mates. Matty Colkin says Force will get smashed on Saturday to the Crusaders with their Wallabies players rested. Oh, is that right? I wondered why the odds were so astronomically against the Western Force. Because I thought the Crusaders would win and probably win quite comfortably, but the odds were fascinatingly wide. That would explain it. Kalen Ponga from the sideline with the conversion attempt. Strikes it well. It's hooking. Does it hold its line enough? It does. And it sneaks in that near upright. It's 6-0. Six points to nil, the Knights over the Dolphin. Good start from the home side. Notice this, says Knights and Raiders have a high-tempo game plan. It's good to watch. I would also throw in the Storm, Manly, and the Broncos from what we saw in round one as well. Back underway, and the Knights take the kickoff. Big defense. Saifiti on Saifiti. Oh, that's not going to get boring. That is not going to go away. All night long, those two will be targeting each other. Brother on brother. You'll love to see it. Captain Redbeard says, Dan, a question. Would you support a draft in the NRL? What are your thoughts on a draft concept? Oh, mate, that is almost a video in of itself, isn't it? Way too much for me to deep dive into here during the game as Frizzell takes it up to halfway. But if you are interested, I would very happily record a video regarding the matter. Long story short, though, I do like the concept. If it can be done properly, there is definitely room for that concept, especially to help out some of the clubs that perhaps struggle to attract players. But I think it is workable. As Nikorima dummies and cuts straight up the middle. Support inside from Maxi Plath. Plath's got the hammer, and the hammer will score under the post. And the Dolphins hit straight back. Kodi Nikorima, absent last week, has made an immediate difference. And there is a tick off my multi with the hammer going over and scoring. Wait on. Whoa, hang on. Hang on. Let's take that tick off. This is going to get overturned. This is getting overturned. No try. Police Kafusi has gone and ballsed this up for his team. Hanging around the marker area. Kafusi is in front of the play the ball. And he has obstructed Phoenix Crossland. And that is straight where Kodi Nikorima goes to create the gap. And this is going to be a penalty to the Knights. No try, Dolphins. Take that one away. Oh, there can be absolutely no arguments with that. In all honesty, there could be no arguments with that. That was just laziness from Kafusi. He's not having a good night, poor old Felice, is he? The touch finder takes the Knights 25 out. And we are just waiting for that to update. Take the hammer off the scoreboard, please. Dylan Lucas. What was he meant to do? Get back on side. Not just stand there. He could have picked a better spot to stand than marker for the opposition. You know what I mean? He could have made an attempt to get out of the way. Ponga to Ponga. Ponga links up with Schiller. Schiller looking for a double. Has he got it down in the corner? Yes, he has, says the referee. And the Knights They are tearing up the right edge. I did my preview video and talked all about the left edge. Well, they are tearing up the right edge tonight. James Schiller with an early double. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Gagai runs into the defensive line. I think this is going to get taken off as well. Don't be surprised if this one gets looked at. Hasn't been confirmed yet. All right, let's have a look. Where's Gagai? Gagai runs into the defensive line. Well, Avarillo should have taken a dive. Oh, he did take a dive. Okay. He did take a dive in the end. Try confirmed. Well, there you go. Try has been confirmed, and it's 10 points to 0. This scoreboard's still at... Oi. You got to take the hammer off the scoreboard. From the sideline again, Ponga hooks it badly this time. And it's waved away, 10 points to 0. The Knights out to an early lead. This is like the opposite of last week. With the Knights going into the halftime break, trailing by 8. They've turned it around this week. Early days yet, indeed. But, said, it's not looking that good for the Dolphins, really. Back underway. And Saifidi takes the hit up. 10 meters out from their own line. Starting this set, the Dolphins now drive backwards. Hiller, the double try scorer. Now, what am I doing here? This one. Yes, okay. We need the hammer off the try scorers list. Go. Fifth and last, Cogger puts the kick down from inside his own 40. Taken on the full at the back. And Junior Tupou. There you go. I had to wait to see who that was. That is a big body out there on the wing, but haven't seen too much of him. So still 0 ticks off my multi. With the hammer being denied. Very scrappy ball here for the Dolphins in midfield. You can tell that this team is missing Wayne Bennett. Katoa. Back inside, up the middle. For Tom Gilbert, fifth and last. 30 out from the line. Katoa. Down to Marju. Marju takes it well. Bumps away from Herbie Farnworth. Farnworth comes back at him. But he's still fighting for position here. Greg Marju. Now he goes to ground. 10 meters out from their own try line. The Knights. 10 points to 0. 17 minutes gone in this first half. Ponga goes quickly from dummy half. Finds some space. Outside the 30 now, Ponga. And a penalty. The Dolphins not releasing early enough in the tackle. Another penalty here to the Knights. Off the back of that play from Kalyn Ponga. Spotting the space, the slow markers. And then Katoa doubles down, not releasing him to play the ball. And they find touch inside Dolphins territory. Give me $5. Ahoy, mate. Jason Calloway is asking if I'll be wearing a Canberra jersey for the match against the Broncos. G. Pernatisi. G. Pernatisi. Ahoy there. I remember your name, I just don't remember how to say it. I apologize. Marju receives the offload. They're 10 metres out now, the Knights, as they do end up finally attacking that left edge. Farnworth's in at marker. Here's Crossland. Dummies. Brought to ground. 5 metres out here, fifth and last. Ponga in at first receiver. Grubbers into the end goal. Hits the post. And the hammer changes direction and dives on the loose ball. Goal line dropout incoming. Ponga finding the upright, the padding. The Dolphins are only just holding on here in the first half. Yeah, give me $5. Lost power for a couple of days. So that was the extent of it. No property damage. Everybody's safe and sound. It was, just lost power and lost internet for a couple of days. That's all. Junior Tupou played for the West Tigers last year. There you go. Tackle 3 now. The Knights in midfield. 10 out. They go left. Sharp to Ponga. To Bradman Best, who straightens. Best reaches out and plants it down. They've got another one. Bradman Best. And a tick off the multi. The Knights just keep rolling on here. 14-0. The kick to come. 20 minutes gone. Bradman Best fights his way through 3 defenders. The hammer overruns it. Bradman Best failed to do it last week. He got there this time. The Knights looking good. Wow, 14 points to 0. I wasn't expecting it to be done this easily. Ponga hooks this one off. And it's another missed conversion. 14 points to 0. And those missed goals will just be keeping the Dolphins interested. The real thing, ahoy mates. Who are the halves for the Knights tonight, please? Fletcher Sharp is playing 6, Jack Cogger in 7. Laundry block, ahoy mate. $14 points to 0, a quarter of the way through this contest. Asako gets us back underway. Taken in the in goal, and here is Saifidi to rumble it up. Brings it outside the 10. Herbie Farnworth is indeed on report for contact on Kalen Ponga after he passed the ball. Jason Calloway says, Dan, can you see the 2025 Grand Final being the Knights and the Raiders? Not even in one's most wildest dreams. As Marshu bumps up the middle, looks to offload to Fletcher Sharp, and Sharp leaves it behind. Here's a chance now for the Dolphins. 0 tackle, 40 out from the Knights line. And a set restart for what it's worth on 0 tackle. 22 minutes to go. 22 minutes gone, sorry. In the first half, here's a chance now for the Dolphins. You feel like they've got to get some points out of this field position. 25 out, Plath plays it. Katoa brings it down this near edge. The hammer with the inside ball to Herbie. Bumps off the first defender. And he's taken down about 12 out from the line. Katoa in front of the post to Gilbert. Here's Nikorima heading across field. Inside ball now for Junior Tupou, who bursts through one. Gets up and goes again, Tupou. And he is centimetres short. Quick play the ball. The crash ball for Saifidi. And that's the 5th and last. Just to the left of the post. And they go back for Katoa. Crossfield kick. Marju's there. Marju's up. It's batted back by the Dolphins, and Marju bumps it into touch, which suggests to me that he had knocked it on. Or somebody had knocked it on in the first place. And it was indeed Marju. He knew he knocked it on, so he was happy to just bump it into touch. This will be a scrum down for the Dolphins. They've got to get some reward here for this pressure. They're taking the play of the ball. Give me $5. One of my thoughts on Dylan Brown, 10 years, 13 million. 13 million across the 10 years. Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. That's what I think of it. 6 again now for the Dolphins. Keeley heads back towards the post. On play 1. Oh, they must score here, the Dolphins. Katoa out to the hammer. Hammer bumps away from Bradman Best. Heads back in field. He's caught 10 meters out still. Tackles up their sleeve, though, the Dolphins. Katoa again in midfield. To Gilbert. Stands in the tackle. 5 meters out, right in front of the post. Gilbert plays it. They go left. Katoa again out to Nikorima. They've got a 3-on-2. Nikorima goes to ground court. 5 meters out on play 4. Running out of opportunity now. Katoa with the grubber kick through, and Sharp plucks it out of the air. Fletcher Sharp is having a blinder. If that kick goes in behind, it's probably a Dolphins try. But the Knights have defended. Marju gets the offload away again. Lucas heads back in field. Takes it out to the 20. Dylan, you've got Schiller, Check, and Marju anytime. They just need Marju. $30 meters out from their own line now, the Knights. I'm starting to get very, very concerned about the Dolphins in my multi. From inside the 40, Cogger keeps it low and flat, and it sits up 30 meters out for Asako, who brings it now back to the 40 and loses it. Bradman Best picks up the loose ball. And the Knights will start this set 40 meters out from the line. They'll go on the attack again. A turnover on play 1 from the Dolphins. Isn't that exactly what let them down last week against the Bunnies? It's hard to see where any improvements come from this week for the Dolphins. Cogger with the short ball to Pierce Paul. 30 meters out. Crossland heads back to midfield. He's got Ponga. Ponga with the double pump, and he's put down by Gilbert in a good tackle. 20 meters out. Crossland goes from dummy half. Here's Cogger. Puts the kick through. Not played at by the Dolphins. Play 4. 12 out. Ponga in at first receiver. Wasn't expecting it. Had nothing to do. Links up with Lucas, who heads back towards the post. Fifth and last now. 10 metres out. They come left. Ponga looks to put the grubber kick through, and he misses his foot completely. And the Dolphins dive on it. An air swing from Ponga. And a penalty now to the Dolphins. Oh, no, it's a forward pass. Is it a forward pass from marker? Or from dummy half? This is incredible. No, it's a rolled play the ball is what it is. Second one of the night here for the Dolphins. Rolling the play the ball, not touching the foot. Unforgivable. 5 metres out from their own try line. Five metres out from the line. They go right. Ponga gets on the outside. They must score here. Gagai straightens. Gagai scores. 18 points to 0. They raced up on Ponga. They missed the hit. And suddenly, this space just opened up in front of him, and Kalyn Ponga waltzed straight through. Links up with Gagai on the outside. An easy try. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Dolphins defenders and the hammer across the back. 5 Dolphins defenders, 4 Knights attackers. They ended up with a 3-on-1. I don't understand how. Averillo racing up out of the defensive line. Dane Gagai. 18 points to 0. This is a massacre in the making. Jason Callaway, you just had a look at the NRL leaderboard for 2025. How come the Storm have 4 points? Because they won in round 1 and they've got a bye in round 2. And that's why you'll notice that the Titans have 2 points despite not playing a game yet as well. Oh, Jake Averillo. Well, last week it was Herbie Farnworth. This week it's Jake Averillo. The Dolphins have got some big issues with their center defense. $18 points to 0, 29 minutes gone. Ponga, he's had a lot of practice from out this edge. Slightly closer on this occasion. Starts it further left and it hooks back through the middle for 20 points to 0. The Knights. Well, this could be another one of those games that's all over by halftime. And I've got to say, very unexpectedly. Oh, Wasted Water Sports. There is some big action coming up this weekend, right? NRL, Super Rugby, of course, Six Nations Rugby. The climax of Six Nations Rugby. The Australian Formula One. Gotta love sport, right? Massive weekend. Knights from the kickoff. They're going to start this set 30 out. Ty Pierce-Paul brings it up to the 40. That's tackle 3. Here's Frizzell now up the middle. 5th and last, just short of halfway. It's back to Ponga for the kick. Sends it downfield. Asako plants himself under it and takes it. Big defense from Bradman Best, who chases through. And the Dolphins start 20 meters out from their own line. Here's Herbie Farnworth. The hammer in at first receiver onto Tupou. Tupou rocked in the tackle. 3 men. Stanford Walu, ahoy mate. Knights go for 21-30. Maxi Plath. Straight up the guts. 2 tackles left. Josh Kerr on the 5th and last. Kicking from their own side of halfway again. Katoa puts it high. A huge amount of distance. Marju has to come forward for it. Spills it out the back and over the sideline. Greg Marju with his first mistake of the night. Otherwise, he has been absolutely rock solid under those high balls. He just tried to get a little bit too fancy there, Marju. And the Dolphins have just been invited back here. A try before halftime. Well, it's almost necessary, isn't it? Nikorima takes it to the line. A flat pass for Keeley. 5 meters out now on play 2. 6 more tackles. This is the Dolphins' best chance yet. Nicholls. Centimeters out. Marshall King fires it out now for Katoa. Cutout ball to Avarillo, who steps back in field. Still going Avarillo. Just a couple of meters out. Katoa was there waiting for it, but it's gone to Ray Stone. Couple of meters out still. Katoa to the hammer. Hammer puts the step on Sharp, but Sharp comes back at him. 2 tackles left. Lined up to the left here. Marshall King to Katoa. Shows it inside. Katoa goes on his own and gets the offload. And the Dolphins have scored. Mark Nicholls crashes over. Isaiah Katoa with the big try assist. And the Dolphins have hit back. Try under the post. Oh, boy, do they need that. Oh, they needed that. It's going to be 20 points to 6. Seven minutes to go until the halftime break. Mark Nicholls. He loves a meat pie, doesn't he? And this game might just open up now. This one could just start to open up. We could see a lot of tries in the second half. Jermaine Osako from right in front puts it over. 20 points to 6. That should be the halftime score. Sean Hewitt, ahoy mate. Sean says, what do I think of a Warriors Highlanders double for Friday night? I think the Warriors might let you down there. I can't tip the Warriors at the moment. I just can't. They let me down so badly in Vegas. Lizette Cabrera won today. Nice. I'll have to shoot her a congratulatory message on Instagram. Jason Calloway asks if I can see the Sea Eagles putting on 50 points against the Warriors. No, I don't think so. I think your 50-point blowouts are more likely to happen in round 1. Everybody's going to be better for the hit out, basically. Well, theoretically, I feel like the Dolphins aren't that much better this week. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Theoretically, teams should be better in round 2 than round 1. We're more likely to see 50-point blowouts in round 1 than round 2. 5th and last. I think the Manly will win quite comfortably. but I can't see another 50-point hiding. Ponga, slow to play the ball here on the 20. Their own 20, that is, for the Knights. 5 minutes until the break. Schiller. 2 tries. And a lot of strong carries. Play 4, still their own side of halfway, the Knights. An early kick from Cogger finds some space in behind the Hammer, and they're racing through after this. The Knights, Gagai leading the way, and Hammer's taken down 5 out from his own line. Another great kick chase. No, I really don't. Give me $5 asking if I see the Panthers putting on 50 against the Roosters. I really don't. The Panthers are not the type of team that just massacre opposition in that way. Yeah, I think the scoreline will honestly surprise a few people. It'll be another one where the Panthers will obviously win quite comfortably, but Mitch Kenny did an interview, and I wish I could remember where he did this interview because it's very, very relevant. But Mitch Kenny basically said that we, the Panthers, we get ourselves into a position where we're ahead and then our attention turns to defense. They don't try and blow teams away with big scorelines. They do what they need to do to win, and then they just defend their leads. So they're going to get themselves out to a 10 or a 12-point margin. And Mitch Kenny himself said, we then become very defensively focused. So the Panthers are not the type of team that are going to pile on 50 points against you week in, week out, unless you just completely capitulate. Fifth and last, the Knights from inside their 40. Cogger takes a couple of steps outside, now puts the kick down. Hammer takes it on the full. Jeffrey Wang, ahoy mate. Knights too good. Oh, it was a big mistake to... Matty Colkin, NRL 360, the interview was. Thank you, mate. I do need to try and find the clip. So that is a very good starting point because I want to use it in my preview video on YouTube for tomorrow. Oh, Genitalia with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. The Dolphins go quickly. Ahoy, mate. How are you doing? Fifth and last. 2 minutes to go till the halftime break. Nikorima down the short side. Puts it high. Marju takes it this time. A more traditional take. And he's a lot more secure on this occasion. The Knights seem quite content at the moment just to take it into the halftime break. I went for the Knights in this one. How good was the news about Dylan Brown? Hang on, you're an Eels supporter. You're happy to see the back of him, are you? That's hilarious. Parramatta Eels supporter going, how good is that news about Dylan Brown? He's off to chew up somebody else's salary cap, not ours anymore. Inside the last minute of this first half, 20 points to 6. The Knights over the Dolphins. Dolphins in possession, 30 out from their own line. September, NRL 360. Excellent work, Matty Colkin. Thank you so much. Nikorima down the short side. Very much appreciate that, Matty Colkin. A very big drink. A very big cheers to you. As the kick is in and behind Ponga's head. He manages to pick up the loose ball before any damage is done and now throws a forward pass out to Marshu. Play on, and the Knights are away upfield. Bradman Best needs support. The siren goes for half-time. Now that was surely forward from Bradman Best. And they're happy to just see it into half-time. 20 points to 6 at the break. Whoop. Inactivity detected. There we go. Verification complete. 20 points to 6 at the break. That was a little bit frantic. Right on the halftime siren. And a solid first half here for the Knights. No, that's fine, Matty. I've had... That is absolutely fine. There's different levels of trolls. There's really, really good ones and really funny ones. And then there's just really crap ones that aren't even worth acknowledging. They're so bad. Give me $5, says the game of the week for me is Raiders and Broncos. Yeah, right. That's interesting. Give me $5. Just out of curiosity, what makes you say that? Because I would have thought that a lot of people are anticipating another smashing. I actually really think the Raiders are going to put up a fight. Just personally. Raiders are playing up-tempo. Defensive game, maybe. Couple of options there. Yeah, I do. And I'll talk about it, obviously, a lot more in my preview video that I do for YouTube on the game. But I think the Raiders, despite the fact now they're obviously going to miss Tarpany and they're obviously going to miss Xavier Savage. I feel like this is the sort of game, though, that just is built for Ricky Stewart, for Ricky Stewart's coaching and his ability to get the best out of players and get them up for particular games. I feel like this is a game absolutely made for him. And especially because I feel like the Broncos, maybe, just maybe, the Broncos will become a little bit disillusioned. Well, is disillusioned the right word? The Broncos are pretty prone to buying into their own hype, aren't they? I think that's a fair dig at the Broncos. They have a tendency to buy into their own hype, and now they played a real Harlem Globetrotter style of footy against the Roosters, and everything paid off for them, right? Those double kicks through the line that bounced and sat up for Selwyn Cobbo, the passes over the head and the pop balls, those are not going to come off 100% of the time every single week. And I just feel like they might try that again this week. And when it doesn't pay off, the Raiders are just that sort of gritty, grinding defensive team that they'll keep it close. Rabbitohs and Dragons will be a good game, says Matty Colkin. Can't wait for Alex Johnston to be back and Latrell. And I tell you what, the Rabbitohs can't wait for Alex Johnston and Latrell to be back. Especially with the latest injury to Tyrone Munro. That poor guy just can't catch a break. Oh boy. Well, halftime here. The multi's not looking very good. Well, it would also be very difficult for me to wear green on the streams. I would have to change my background to a blue screen. If anyone's familiar with Red Dwarf, if I streamed in a green outfit, I would look like Holly. I'd just be this head floating. I do think the Sharks will beat the Cowboys, Marley Prime. Not look, I think that the Cowboys will be a lot better this week. I talked about it just before. You would be expecting everybody, you would hope, improves in the following week. But the Sharks don't mind playing in Townsville. They've actually got a pretty decent record there. And against the Cowboys in general in recent years. Gaz Johnson, ahoy, mate. You woke up late. Looks like a comfortable Knights first half. And it sure was. A very comfy Knights first half. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. Jenna Talia says, I hope Para goes for Wisher. Oh, they would, surely, wouldn't they? What about Jerome Luai? There's been links to Jerome Luai. New South Wales Blues. Halves partnership for the Eels. Mind you, I think Jerome Luai stays exactly where he is. Don't you worry about the Tigers. They'll be a much different team this week. You got to remember that match against the Knights in round 1, they were missing half their spine. There was no Api Coruscant. There was no Jareen Fuller. Both are back this week. They've got their full spine. No excuses this week, though, for the Tigers. You can get away with that 1 week, but now they're full strength. I will have no sympathy and no excuses for them if they don't get the job done this week. Noah says Raiders or Broncos. The Broncos have got to be favorites to win. I'll be going for the Raiders, though. Ollie is the best, says your friend Bruce. Says ahoy, and your girlfriend Jasmine. Ahoy, Bruce and Jasmine. Bruce Almighty. What's the news on Clemmer? Clemmer has been immediately released to the Dragons. That's the news on Clemmer. The Tigers have said, you want to go? Sure. And he has been picked up by the Dragons. It's an immediate move. So we're going to be seeing Clemmer running out for the Dragons. I mean, maybe not this week. I'm not sure what their intentions are with him. It might be a bit too late to name him this week. But that is an immediate move. So, yeah, I can't see him in the team sheet for this week. But that was an immediate release given to him, and he's been picked up by the Dragons. Genitalia wants Clemmer to hang up the boots and not be another Aaron Woods. Well, I think he's still a radio show away from becoming another Aaron Woods. Gaz Johnson says Matty Nicholson makes his Raiders NRL debut tomorrow, doesn't he? Somebody does. And that is probably the guy. Oh, and it's not tomorrow, by the way. It's Saturday. Well, Saturday for us. I don't know what time zone you're in. But yes, in Matty Nicholson. On the interchange bench. Right, close to Water Sports. Very quick break. And we'll be back for all the second half action right after this. All right. Told you to be a quick break. Yes, indeed. AU. Bradman Best scored among other try scorers for the Knights in that first half. 20 points to 6 at the break. A very important try for the Dolphins before halftime. It was around about the 32nd minute, I think it was, that Mark Nicholls barged his way over, but it was Isaiah Katoa who set up the try. Notice this, Dan. Who would you have at fullback for the Wars? I'll be honest, I don't really know what's going on with the Australian rugby teams at the moment outside of the Queensland Reds. So, probably not the best person to have an opinion. Well, if the Dolphins can come out here in the second half and be the first team to score, they'll have scored the last try in the first and the first try in the second half. That will put them in a pretty good position. Oh, sorry. For the Warriors. Not the Waratahs. Well, I'm an idiot. Okay. Gaz Johnson says you're still trying to get over Warrington's embarrassing performance in Las Vegas. There were a couple of embarrassing performances in Vegas. And I don't want to say that the most embarrassing performance of all was the women's game, because then you get labeled as sexist. And cancel culture says, oh, you're not allowed to say that about women's sport. Like, I'm sorry that 94 points to 0 was just a horrible showcase of the game. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so now that I know we're not talking about the Waratahs, what was the question again? The question was, who would I have as the Warriors fullback? And do I... okay, all right. Now I know who we're talking about. Yeah, look, Webster as a coach, I suppose the jury is still out on him, but he's not the only one in that position. There's a few coaches that still have some proving to do. Webster's one of them. Fitzgibbon's another one. The Dolphins coach at the moment has got to try and find his way in the shadow of Wayne Bennett, right? But in terms of fullback, I mean, what do you do with Nickel Clockstad? If you move Roger Tuivasa-Sheck to the back, is there a place for Nickel Clockstad? I like the upside of Palpicki. What's happening with him at the moment? Oh, they're playing him on the wing. Yeah, okay. I don't know that Nickel Clockstad's the answer, really. Second half is underway. $20 points to 6 at the halftime break. Thoughts on Kalen Ponga playing as halfback in attack and fullback in defense? Kalen Ponga's not a halfback. Pretty simple, really. Riley, I don't think it would work. They've tried. Now I realize they've tried him at 6, not 7. It didn't really work out all that well, moving Ponga into the halves. He's a fullback. He's a sensational fullback. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Kalen Ponga stays at the back for mine. Forever and always. First set of 6, done and dusted here for the Knights. And now Tupou brings it up. The Dolphins back in possession. Jermaine Asako with the hit up. Farnworth. If the Dolphins are the first to score, it's game on. Up over halfway goes Keeley. He's had some strong carries tonight. Oryn Keeley down the short side for Katoa. Kicks long. Ponga's under it. Takes it 5 out from his own line. Ponga almost gets on the outside of the kick chase. Brought to ground by Josh Kerr. The Knights, 20 points to 6. Boy, play the ball here from Marju. And Bradman Best now outside the 30. That's tackle 3. Down the right-hand edge they go, and the error early. Kai Pierce-Paul spills it forward. And here is an opportunity and a half for the Dolphins. 2.5 minutes into the second half. And they will have a full set of 6 on the attack side Knights territory. They could not have asked for a better opportunity. Oh, the Knights so flat to start the second half. Katoa onto Avarillo. 30 meters out. Nicholls in midfield. Hit hard in the tackle, but maintains his feet. Now he goes to ground. And they've lost the ball here, the Dolphins. Well, on play 2. Play 2. Oh, the Dolphins. What is going wrong with the Dolphins in 2025? That is another massive let-off for the Knights. It would have been game on if the Dolphins could have scored first here in the second half. And now straight up the middle goes Elliott. He needs support. And he's taken down by the hammer at the back. Could not get the support runners in open space. But now they've got them blitzed out to the left. Sharp dummies and goes through the gap on his own. Links up with Lucas. And Dylan Lucas scores. Adam Elliott straight up the middle. And then they were absolutely ripped to shreds on that right edge defense. Fletcher Sharp linking up with Dylan Lucas. From a turnover on the second tackle, all the way up the other end of the field. Herbie Farnworth racing up out of the line. And that created the space in behind. $24 points to 6. Caden, ahoy there, Caden. Flegler's still out injured, I believe. I mean, he's not playing tonight anyway. But I'm pretty sure that Flegler is going to be out for a little bit. $24-6. Matty Colkin might know the answer to that one as to when Flegler's expected back. Ponga. It holds its line just inside that far upright. And it is 26 points to 6. The Knights. Oh, sorry, Gilbert. Gilbert is still off the field to start the second half, according to my statistics available there. Hayden, yes, Wasted Water Sports. We're live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, and live on Facebook whenever it decides to work, which it didn't tonight. Six minutes gone in the second half. The Knights up 26-6. Crossland finds some space around dummy half. Tackle 3 now, 30 out from their own line. And Croker rocked backwards in the tackle. 40 metres out. Ponga down the short side. Takes it up to halfway, fifth and last. Ponga waits for it. Puts it high down the middle of the field. The hammer bobbles the ball slightly, but holds on and is now picked up and driven backwards in the tackle. And the Dolphins, 20 metres out from their own try line. Tupou heading across field. Not doing a whole lot of damage. Tupou. Still inside their own half, the Dolphins. Herbie Farnworth, dummies. Nobody falls for it. And he's taken down on play 4. Just shy of the halfway line. Katoa out the back to Nikorima. Holds the pass up and throws it to nobody. But it sits up for Averillo on the bounce. And Averillo is brought down by Gagai. And a penalty now to the Dolphins. Tackled without the ball. Who was tackled without the ball? Maxi Plath. Touch finder, 25 out from the line. The Dolphins, can they hold on to the ball for a full set of 6? Can they ask some questions of the Knights' defense? They haven't really done so far. Katoa onto Nicholls. That's been the combination that's caused any sort of disruption at all. 10 metres out. Katoa in front of the post. Out to Nikorima. Nikorima to the hammer. Feeds it on to Averillo. And Gagai brings him down in the one-on-one tackle. 5 metres out on play 3. Nikorima into midfield. It goes for Stone. Stone bumped on his back. 10 meters out. Here they come left. Nikorima out to the hammer. Avarillo pops it on for Tupou, who spills it into touch. And the Knights' defense was all numbered up, and they had it covered sweetly. Perfectly organised defence there from the Knights. Nobody racing up out of the line. That's how you do it. And they've just defended that so easily. The Dolphins are just not really offering anything on attack. I think Hubner, a great replacement for Cam Murray at lock for the Bunnies. And Hubner is a Wayne Bennett type of player too, isn't he? Just an absolute workhorse. Uncle Wayne loves a workhorse. As Ponga scoots across field. Links up with Dylan Lucas, up over halfway now on the fifth and last. 45 out from the line. They stay short side for Ponga to put it high. Contestable kick as Marju flies through, takes the hammer out in the air. And this will be a penalty to the Dolphins. Hammer takes offense to it. He's not happy with Marju there. And the two of them still having words. The Hammer not happy at all about that. And a justified penalty here for the Dolphins. Finding touch now, 30 metres out from their own line. Farnworth will tap and go. Oh, thank you very much for the rose. Wills. Cheers, mate. Up to halfway now, the Dolphins. Nikorima into a little bit of space. Dummies. Almost slides through. Goes to ground, 30 metres out. Quick play the ball. Katoa in midfield. For Donahue. 20 metres out in midfield. They go right. Here's the Hammer up in the line. Decides to take the line on. Yeah, catch you later, Gamer Mel. Matty, ahoy there. Matty, you're at this game? Very nice. Crossfield kick here on the fifth and last. Taken out of the air by Gagai, who beats the one. And brings it 15 metres out from the Knights try line. Penalty now to boot. For holding down. Oh, the Knights' defence. Immaculate. So how are you enjoying the game, Matty? I guess if you're a Knights supporter, you're enjoying it very well. If you're a Dolphins supporter, not so much. Thank you very much, Wills. Oh, Wills, TikToks, fluffy somethings or other. Thank you very much for the gifts, Wills. Very much appreciated. The Knights find touch 40 metres out from their own line. And Pierce Paul takes the first hit up. Now here's Croker in midfield. Up to halfway. Slow play, the ball again. Crossland, down this near edge they come. Here's Paul again with his second carry, and that's a strong one. Inside the 40 they go. In midfield is Elliott. Now to Cogger and Sharp. Best tries to run straight over the top of Asako, who jammed in off the wing. "20 metres out now. A good strong carry. Down the short side. Ponga waits for it. The little grubber kick through hits the Hammer on the chest. And he takes the tackle 10 metres out from his own try line. The Hammer Perfectly positioned. Dolphins back in possession. Gaz Johnson, how do I think the Tigers will do this season? We are going to get a lot of answers about the Tigers this week. This is the first proper game for the Tigers. You've got to remember that round one match against the Knights, half their spine was missing. We will get some answers this week against the Eels as to how the Tigers are going to fare in 2025. Rebel Nuts, ahoy mate. Matty Colkin's asking why the Wallabies players get rested when they play. They don't play until June the 6th. I'm really not sure, mate. It's probably some sort of player management thing. Player workload management written into their contracts or something. As Marju with a good, strong kick return. The Knights winning the territorial battle at the moment. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, Matty. Up to halfway go the Knights here on tackle 2. Croker. He only knows one way, Matty Croker. Straight up the middle. Ponga in at first. Receiver again. Out the back to Sharp. "30 metres out. Elliott changes direction. Pops it back for Sharp. Cut out pass now for Best, who cuts back in field. Hamish McKenzie, ahoy mate. 20 metres out. On play 4, Ponga kicks early. Grubber kick in behind the line. Looks for the post again. The Hammer picks it up, and there is a wall of Knights defence in front of him. Goal line dropout incoming. Opportunity for a quick break for me. Now the Knights on the attack. Ponga keeps it alive for Bradman Best. 10 metres out here on play 3. The Knights, you would think it would put the game to bed here if they score another try. Leading by 20 more points in their favour. It'd be hard to overcome in the final quarter. 2 tackles left here, 10 out. Cogger waits for it, bobbles the ball, spills it. And it's been touched by the Dolphins, but it's a knock-on first by Cogger. Disappointing. Well, I tell you what, Riley, I think it was. Riley, if Jack Cogger keeps making mistakes like that, then maybe it's worth having a crack with Kalen Ponga at 7. Whoops, I've nearly overflowed my drink. Too busy talking. Yeah, any more mistakes like that from Cogger? The Dolphins trailing by 20. 23 minutes to go. Time is obviously against them. Their lack of imagination on attack is also obviously against them. It's really hard to see any way back for them, but you just never know. Rugby league is a funny old game. Just one big break, one moment, and suddenly they get some momentum, and here they get a 6 again. 45 out from the Knights line, and a set restart, and now a failed play the ball from Marshall King. The third one tonight for the Dolphins. A rolled play the ball, doesn't touch the foot. They had just got a set restart. Wayne Bennett doesn't even coach this team anymore, and he's pulling his hair out over this performance. Unbelievable. The third. That is the third time tonight for the Dolphins. Ponga to the line, pops the pass up. 30 metres out now, the Knights on play 3. And a charging Leo Thompson with fresh legs. Takes the tackle, 20 out. Ponga waits for it on the left. Takes the line on, links up with Sharp out the back. Can't get the arms free, can't get away from Asako. Fifth and last, 11 out. Ponga kicks crossfield. High Pierce Paul's there. And the ball is loose. Nikorima picks it up for the Dolphins. Ten metres out from their own try line, the Dolphins. Rebel nuts, you need the hammer and Maju to score. Yeah, what do I need? I need the hammer or Avarillo, Asako, and Maju. Could still happen. There's still 20 minutes to go. Let's not give up on our multis just yet. And the Dolphins up over halfway. Maxi Plath put on his back. Fifth and last. Kotoa on halfway. Puts it straight down the middle. Ponga takes it on the full. He's got support back there from Schiller. And Schiller takes the carry into contact. We're into the final quarter of the match. 20 minutes left. The Knights well on top. I feel like every time I do, Fletcher Sharp goes straight up the middle. He's got Bradman Best in support. He puts the kick in, and it's a foot race. And the Hammer is going to win that foot race. Bradman Best sacks him, but the Hammer keeps it in the field of play. Penalty for being driven backwards or dragged backwards. Penalty to the Dolphins. Fletcher Sharp, another clean line break though. Anyone with Fletcher Sharp in their fantasy squad, he's getting himself a big haul of points tonight. I think he should have kept hold of it. Fletcher Sharp, he went the kick. He had Bradman Best in support. Dolphins, though, back in possession. Did I see David Warner went to the team Justin Langer is coaching? I didn't see that. That's rather hilarious. Tackle 3 for the Dolphins. Their own 40-metre line. Marshall King, dummies, finds some space around the ruck. He's up over halfway. Donahue to Nikorima. Inside for Avarillo. Runs across field, Avarillo. He's got Herbie Farnworth straightening. Farnworth offloads back for Marshall King. To Avarillo again. Stays on that far side. And he's finally taken 30 metres out here on the fifth and last. Kotoa. They're going to have a run here on the fifth and last. Nikorima to the Hammer. Do they know it's the fifth and last? Is it the fifth and last? Maybe the TV coverage got it wrong. Now Kotoa puts the kick in. After making no progress running the ball, they finally decide to put the kick in. And the Knights back in possession. Oh, Dolphins. What's going on? No sort of variety in attack. No imagination. They didn't ask any questions, really, of the Knights' defense. A disappointing performance all around. Once again for the Dolphins. Well, speaking of disappointing, Tyson Frizzell takes his eyes off the ball. And he knocks it on cold. Dolphins A full set of 6 starting on halfway. The Dolphins' next 5 games. Home against the Tigers, home against the Broncos, away against the Titans, home against the Panthers, home against the Storm. There is a very real possibility that the Dolphins do not win a single one of those next 5 games. That is a very real possibility. $30 meters out now, the Dolphins. They absolutely must score. Time is already escaping them at a rapid pace. If there is any hope in this contest whatsoever, they absolutely must score off this little sequence of play as Finefeuiaki plays a 12 out. Marshall King goes quickly for Katoa, and Katoa is wrapped up by Kalyn Ponga, who comes racing up out of the line. Had to make the hit and did. Farnworth heads back towards the posts. 5th and last. 10 meters out. Katoa runs it to the line, puts the grubber kick through, and Kalyn Ponga is perfectly positioned, is now driven back into the end goal, but somehow stays in the field of play. Well, surely that had to be it was a penalty down the other end. Surely it had to be a penalty up this end too. But they've got away with it, the Dolphins. Marju beats one, goes straight up the middle. Marju beats 4 defenders and gets the offload away for Sharp, and now Sharp's in open space again. Tackle 3, 40 meters out. Greg Marju, what a run. Brazil holds onto the ball this time. Up over halfway. No, Brazil has rolled the ball. No foot contact on the play of the ball. The crackdown continues. And the Dolphins again will start a set on the halfway line. Maxi Plath takes tackle 2. 35 out here, the Dolphins. Donahue onto Finefeuiaki. 25 out in midfield. Katoa down this left edge. They go. The hammer. Short pass for Maxi Plath. Taken down 10 out. 2 tackles left. Katoa dummies and goes straight through. Isaiah Katoa. Well, he set up the last one. He scores this one on his own. Isaiah Katoa. $26 points to 10. Well, the Dolphins, they had to be the next to score. They had to do it relatively quickly. That's a start at least. Easy conversion from right in front. $26 points to 6. $5 points difference in the AFL, says Matty Colkin. 26-12. Come on, scoreboard. Update for us, would you? All right, so 13 minutes remain. 14 points the difference. It's not impossible. The Knights get us back underway. It is not impossible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Kafusi will play it now on tackle 2. 20 metres out from their own line here, the Dolphins. Maxi Plath. He has put in a lot of hard work, as always. Now Gilbert back on the field. Katoa to Nikorima. Numbers out to the right, but Herbie Farnworth has got glue on his hands and spills it out the back of the tackle for Nikorima to now send it out for Katoa. And they're inside Knights territory here on 5th and last. Katoa puts it high. Hammer flying through to put pressure on Ponga. Ponga takes it and surrenders in the tackle. Well done there, Caleb Ponga. Penalty to the Knights. Police Kafusi giving away a soft penalty here. (26-12). 12 minutes to go. And Kai Pearce-Paul has been placed on report, and he's been sent to the bin for 10. A shoulder charge. Pearce-Paul has been sent for 10. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Shoulder to the head. 10 minutes in the bin. That's a fair enough call. There's still time. Yes, it's 26-12. I don't know why my scoreboards haven't updated. Hang on, let's see if we can fix that. The touch finder, 35 out from their own line here. The Knights. They're going to be a man down, though, for the next 10 minutes. Can the Dolphins manufacture something here to make this game a contest? .30 out from the try line. Frizzell with a good carry. Told to release. Elliott in midfield. 5th and last. They've just got to really, really be careful here, the Knights. Control field position. The grubber kick in behind the line. The Hammer picks it up. And the Hammer's in open space. Where's the support? And he's brought down just short of the 20-meter line. Oh, he was almost gone there, the Hammer. He was almost gone the length of the field. Maxi Plath now goes to ground. Donahue takes it up the middle. 10 minutes left. Oh, that's a big crunching hit there on Gilbert. That is a monster hit. Katoa now to Nikorima. Numbers down this left edge. Here's Tupou. Takes on Schiller, but he's brought down by Gagai. 5th and last, and told to go back on the mark and play it. Katoa with the high ball. Ponga loses it. Ponga's knocked it on, and here's an opportunity. The Dolphins, with 9 minutes to go, will have the ball 20 meters out from the line and a full set of 6 and an extra man advantage. Wait just a minute. Is there a twist left in this one? Well, here we go. Osako, a metre short. They're inside the 10. Funworth, dummies. Tries to burrow over from dummy half. 8 minutes remaining. 6 again. Katoa to Kafusi. Kafusi just to the left of the post. The Dolphins have suddenly got all the momentum. Marshall King from dummy half. Half a metre short. Kafusi into dummy half. The Katoa Nikorima goes on his own. The Knights scramble across and shut down the play. Still 10 metres out, the Dolphins lined up to the right. A big open side. Here's the hammer. Cut out pass for Osako. Osako takes on Marju on the outside, but Marju's up to the task. That's the 4th. Hammer in a dummy half. Here's Herbie Farnworth at first receiver. And Donahue steps back short side, links up with Farnworth. Farnworth with the flick ball to Osako. Osako fights his way to half a metre out. And that's the 5th and last. The Knights tenacious in their defensive resolve here. 5th and last. Katoa to Nikorima. Out the back to the hammer. Numbers out to the left and the pass is in behind Tupou and into touch from Avarillo. The Knights' defense, again, just resisting the urge to race up and break that wall. Their defense has been immaculate tonight. And once again, with that man in the bin, everyone resisting the urge to race up. They've kept that straight line intact. And that was a big defensive set because if they leaked a try there, it was suddenly game well and truly back on. But they might have just diffused the whole situation there with that play. Strong carry there from Dylan Lucas. Staying on the short side now from dummy half, Jaden Brayley. Jaden Brayley, who's just signed with the Canberra Raiders too, by the way. Ponga heads across field. Now has his head ripped off by Felice Kafusi. The crowd boos. Ponga looks at the referee, appealing for a penalty. Fifth and last, Cogger puts it high. Hammer's under it. Hammer takes it well, but he's sacked as soon as he catches it. Gagai times the run to perfection and the tackle. Tupou in midfield. Yeah, Jacob Saifidi was taken off very early on in the piece. Somewhat early. And he's never come back. Avarillo almost into space. Up to halfway. Here goes Farnworth. Gets the pass back. Here's Katoa now to Nikorima. Throws the pass out to nobody. And it was forward as well. Four and a half minutes to go. 14 points the difference. And it looks like the Knights have got this one in the bag. They'll have the scrum 40 metres out from their own try line. And here they go, the Knights. Bradman Best takes the tackle just short of halfway. 10 in from that left touch. Elliott in midfield, right on the halfway line, plays it. They're lined up left here, the Knights. Crossland just shuffles it on to Lucas. 40 metres out. Crossland again in at first receiver. Here's Frizzell. Changing direction. Stands in the tackle. Plays it quickly. Some space out of dummy half. For Brayley. Inside to Crossland. That's the fourth. Ponga on the short side. Fifth and last. They're going to have a run here. Bradman Best takes the line on. And he's tackled 5 metres out from the line. That'll be a handover. Three minutes remain. 14 points the difference. 26-12 it is. The Knights over the Dolphins. Kafusi brings it out to the 40. Time has well and truly escaped the Dolphins now. Nikorima to the hammer, tapped on for Averillo, who angles back into midfield, links up with the hammer again. Looking for some open spaces. The hammer, it just hasn't been going his way. They've shut him down perfectly, just like the Tigers did last week. Fifth and last. Oh, not the Tigers, sorry, the Rabbitohs. Katoa is going to take the line on. Here's Nikorima to Averillo. Grab a kick in behind, and Kalen Ponga runs across and smacks it into touch. The Dolphins will, though, have another full set of 6 here on the attack. As Kai Pearce-Paul ready to come back onto the field. All right, to the right-hand side they go. The Dolphins. Here's Taifiti standing just a couple of meters out. Marshall King goes left to Katoa. Nikorima inside ball for Tupou. Tupou almost splits 2 defenders. 6 more tackles here. Very slow play the ball. 1 minute to go. Half a metre out. Well, held up over the line, says the referee. And they'll come back 10 metres out. And it looks like the Dolphins will indeed have last say in this game. It'd be nice for me if Jermaine Asako scores. Well, here they go. The hammer to Barnworth. Barnworth into Asako, and the Knights sliding defense takes Jermaine Asako into touch. They are not going to let the line get broken. Amazing defense again. That's been the most impressive thing for the Knights. They're scrambling defense. Bradman Best and Kalen Ponga, and they just thump Jermaine Asako into touch. Brilliant defensive effort as much as anything else here tonight for the Knights. "30 seconds to go. All right. Length of the field effort. Come on. Length of the field effort for Bradman Best or Greg Marju to score a try. Let's see it happen. 10 seconds to go. I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to happen. Kai Pearce-Paul will happily take the tackle. And that is all she wrote. The Knights victorious, 26 points to 12. Another stinker of an NRL multi. I might just stick to doing multis for rugby union. I win those every weekend. Well, I've probably just jinxed myself now. But I win multiple of those each and every weekend. The rugby league ones not working out too nicely for me. Matty Colkins asks, what's the go for tomorrow? Well, I'll be doing both games tomorrow in the NRL. I think, hang on, who's playing in Super Rugby tomorrow? Well, first, because I'm already on the website. Oh, Warriors Manly. I think I was actually going to do the Highlanders Hurricanes game tomorrow. And then the Panthers Roosters. I believe that was my plan. Yes. Highlanders Hurricanes. I think that's what I'm going to do. Highlanders Hurricanes. And the Panthers Roosters. But I will obviously have Manly and the Warriors on in the background. If I can somehow figure out a way to simultaneously call both games, I would honestly do it. I don't know how I would possibly do that, but yeah, if I can figure out some way in the next 24 hours to call both games simultaneously, it is something that I've always wanted to try. Could be a bit of a laugh trying to jump between both games. All right. Well, Waste of Water Sports. The Newcastle Knights getting another victory here over the Dolphins. That makes their head-to-head 4-1 in favor of the Knights. 26 points to 12. It's been a great start to the year for them. Defense has been the most impressive part, I think. That's just my 2 cents. The Knights' defense. Stanford Walu says that's Knights 1-12. Not quite. That's Knights 13 plus. All right, Waste of Water Sports. Thank you so much for your company here on this one. Thank you so much for the super chats on YouTube and the gifts on TikTok. Jenna, Talia, and Wills, very much appreciate that. And we'll be back tomorrow. Super Rugby and NRL is the most likely sequence of events. But I'm going to have a very, very long and serious think about one day, how could I do 2 games in one? Yes, now I will go find the interview with Mitch Kenny so that I can do my Panthers Roosters preview video on YouTube. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Catch you tomorrow. Until then, cheers.